The Lake Orion village manager has resigned after 4 years on the job, forcing the village council to search for a replacement.
Representatives of more than a dozen local restaurants gathered under one roof to raise money for a good cause.
One local crossing guard is feeling the love after students at Carpenter Elementary School nominated her for a national award.
And Lake Orion's newest business recently celebrated its official grand opening with a ribbon-cutting ceremony.
Hello, I'm Melissa Kratt.
And I'm Shane Stockwell. We'll have those stories and more on this edition of ONTV News.
Just a few months shy of celebrating his 4th anniversary as Lake Orion's village manager, Darwin McClary recently announced he would be leaving the village to accept a position with the city of Ypsilanti. Oxford native Darwin McClary was appointed interim village manager in the spring of 2013 to replace outgoing manager Paul Zelenek. In July of that year, the village council voted to hire McClary on a permanent basis. Among the many changes he experienced over the past several years, McClary oversaw the move of village offices and the police department from the previous location on Flint Street to the historic Union Church building on Church Street. Village officials welcomed the community with a ribbon-cutting ceremony on July 27th of 2015.
There we go. I am so excited about the opportunity to be able to renovate this historic building, to preserve it for many generations to come. We were so worried about what was going to happen to this facility if we were to sell this property off. It's an 1854 church. It's one of the oldest structures in our community. We had an obligation, a moral obligation, to do what we could reasonably do to preserve and protect this building.
In September of 2016, Lake Orion made headlines when the village council voted to adopt a human rights ordinance protecting all residents from discrimination.
The council made history today. They spoke loud and clear that in the village of Lake Orion, everyone is welcome. Everyone will be treated the same when it comes to housing, when it comes to employment, when it comes to public accommodations.
In January of 2017, it was announced that McClary had accepted an offer from the city of Ypsilanti to fill the position of city manager. His final day on the job in Lake Orion was February 24th.
He gave me a heads up on a personal level and said he was going to announce it at the council level as a matter of courtesy. We didn't talk about it a whole lot, and I appreciated that because I haven't had that opportunity in the past. And it was a very smooth, respectful departure. Darwin moved on to a position that pays him a lot more money and has some additional responsibilities that we don't have here at the village. It's a growth move for him. So we appreciated everything he's done for our community. We've appreciated the time that he spent here with us. We would have liked to have retained him if possible, but that was not an option, and we're moving on.
We here at ONTV would like to wish Darwin McClary luck in his new position with the city of Ypsilanti. Police Chief Jerry Narsh and Village Clerk Sue Galechka have assumed the duties of the manager until a replacement can be found. We're told 9 applicants have submitted paperwork and the Village Council hopes to have the position filled within 30 days. Tune into future episodes of ONTV News for updates.
The Oxford-Orion area is home to a wide variety of fine restaurants. Our recent event invited residents to sample dishes from many of these eateries, all gathered under one roof. On Saturday, February 25th, 18 restaurants took part in the Lions Club's 2nd annual Taste of the Town event at Kings Court Castle at Canterbury Village. An estimated 150 people were able to sample dishes ranging from salads to entrees to desserts.
We pretty much approach every single restaurant in town. And of course, we like to concentrate on the locally owned restaurants, and the majority of them have shown up. It usually takes 2 or 3 visits to them to convince them that it is a great event. When they get here, we encourage them to bring their menus, bring discount coupons, and the restaurants that I talked to last year after the event, they said their business went way up because people were coming back to visit them after they had tasted their food here.
This is the second time the 5-1 Diner in Oxford took part in the event. We were told the diner experienced a surge in business after taking part last year.
Well, we went through some bumps in the road here and just recently remodeled and opened, and I felt like it was important last year, not only because we enjoyed it, but because to let people know that we were back and, to come back and see us.
What do you think of today's event and the turnout?
It's wonderful. I love everyone here. I see a lot of regular customers and a lot of new faces, so it's really nice to be here today.
Lake Orion's Palace Grill, located at Clarkston and Baldwin Roads, took part in the event to let customers know the restaurant is under new ownership.
Because I live in Lake Orion and I love Lake Orion, and I want to make sure people come to Lake Orion to have fun at our place.
Why should people come out to the Palace Grill?
Because it's a friendly place, also it's a family place, and everybody can enjoy themselves without being worried or anything, so it's just fun. It's a fun place.
In addition to ticket sales, the Lions Club raised money through silent and live auctions. The items that were auctioned off throughout the evening were donated by generous local businesses and individuals.
All of the money that we raise for this stays here in the community. So our biggest fundraiser, or where we spend the most money, is at our Christmas basket program. But we're also supplying eyeglasses and hearing aids to people in need all year long. And we also, of course, support Leader Dog and Beaumont Silent Child and the Penricton Center for the Deaf. So there's lots of different organizations that this money goes towards, but it all stays local.
The Lions Club next major fundraiser is the 3rd annual Lions Races, scheduled to take place on Saturday, March 18th at the Knights of Columbus Hall on Orion Road. For more information, visit lakeorionlions.org and click on Events at the top of the page.
For years, students at Carpenter Elementary School have known who the best crossing guard in the country is, and now the rest of America knows. During an assembly at Carpenter Elementary School on the morning of Wednesday, March 1st, it was announced that Penny Robertson was named America's favorite crossing guard. Principal Adam Weldon welcomed visitors, and students presented the crossing guard with the award and rain gear to help her on the job. The contest was organized by Safe Kids Worldwide and sponsored by FedEx.
Safe Kids and FedEx launched the America's Favorite Crossing Guard contest to recognize those unsung heroes in the community who are out there protecting kids on the roads and as they're walking to school in rain, snow, sleet. Penny's out there every day ensuring our children's safety.
This is such an important cause for FedEx because we have more than 150,000 vehicles on the world's roads, and kids are so important to all of us, to everyone. And so road safety is a great alignment for FedEx in what we do for the community. So we work in communities in 10 countries around the world, 250 communities in the United States alone, and we feel that crossing guards are very much unsung heroes. So we wanted to take this occasion to sing about one of them, Penny Robertson, who won America's Favorite Crossing Guard. FedEx sponsored this crossing guard contest because we want to sing about the unsung heroes, because we feel that crossing guards are road safety rock stars. So to have a time like this to really celebrate one of them, like Penny, is just fantastic. So she is the first. This is going to be an annual event, so she's the first one to win this national award, and we're very proud of her.
Penny Robertson is a mother of 2 boys and has been a crossing guard at Carpenter Elementary for 5 years. Already a staff associate at the school, she told us she applied for the crossing guard position when no one else stepped up.
Nobody wanted the job, and the kids need to be safe. We had nobody that would apply for the job, so I was already here as a staff associate, so I took it upon myself to say, you know what, it needs to be done, so we did it.
How does it feel today to just get this award?
I can't even put into words what this is. Humbling. It's nice. I feel so loved, blessed beyond belief. I mean, these guys are like my family. I take care of these kids like they're my own. I mean, it's a very busy street. People don't always see these kids because they're little kids that I cross. I only have a couple big kids. They're little ones, and when the people aren't paying attention, they're not going to see them if I'm not out there. And sometimes they don't even see me. So it's a very busy street. It's a thoroughfare between two major streets. So it's very important that somebody's out there.
Orion Township Supervisor Chris Barnett also spoke at the assembly and announced that Penny was named Citizen of the Month. She also received a plaque from County Commissioner Mike Gingell.
Whenever a new business opens its doors in Lake Orion, it seems the entire community comes out to welcome them. That was the case at a recent grand opening at Lake Orion's newest business. On Thursday, March 2nd, representatives of the Chamber of Commerce and the Lake Orion DDA gathered at Optimum Chiropractic to celebrate its official grand opening with a ribbon-cutting ceremony.
I mean, it's actually a little bit overwhelming just to see the support from the community. I've only been here for a couple months, and I can see how this community is really together and how they really push each other to do well and to grow.
Optimum Chiropractic quietly opened its doors in January in the shopping plaza located on M24 just north of Shadwell. Royal Oak resident Dr. Kevin Naborchek designed the unique interior himself and told us he's looking forward to serving the residents of Lake Orion.
I think my new business is unique because we really concentrate on the individuals themselves. The idea is to get your body functioning as best as it possibly can. And if we do that, we make a better life for you. And once again, in the community that shows. So we really pay attention to the individual themselves, like I was saying, and we're just here to serve the community.
For more information or to set up an appointment, you can call 248-590-0253 or visit optichiro.com. They also have a Facebook page.
In April of 2016, the Orion Township Library Director and Board President received training through Maryland's Hardwood Institute to learn how to gather information from residents through a series of community conversations. On the evening of Wednesday, March 1st, Library Director Karen Knox hosted a meeting at the library to recap the information gathered from the community over the past several months. The library held 10 community conversations between June and November of 2016 to encourage residents to express what they felt were the most pressing concerns in the Orion area.
We came up with the top three. Safety continues to be one, and that's not any reflection on whether our officers are doing a good job or not. It was just more looking at our children and the bullying that goes on in the schools and some of those kinds of things and concerns about that. There were concerns about transportation, whether that was the roads and the Lapeer Road construction that was going on, and just general transportation. For people that can't get around town, you kind of need a vehicle to get around town in Orion Township. It's not real walkable unless you live right downtown. So that was a concern. What we think is the biggest concern, and one that we'd like to try to figure out what to do something about, is communication. People don't know what's going on in this township and in this village of Lake Orion, and they don't know how to find that out. And so a lot of people will hear some stuff through the schools, or some stuff through ONTV, or some stuff through the Lake Orion Review, but how do you really know what all is going on? And I think without that communication, people really feel a little bit lost in the community. And so that's something that seemed, and I think it's even relevant in terms of people coming to our community conversations, in terms of coming tonight. How are people finding out that we're having these meetings and showing interest in being involved in them? So that communication seems to be the biggest problem.
Now that the results have been gathered, the next step is to get the information into the hands of the elected officials who have the power to act. If you have any questions or concerns, you are encouraged to contact Karen Knox by calling 248-693-3000, extension 305, or emailing her at knox@orionlibrary.org.
Leader Dogs for the Blind was founded in 1939 and offers independence for those who are blind and visually impaired. The organization depends on the generosity of the community to help keep its programs free for clients. ONTV's John Atwater tells us about an upcoming fundraiser benefiting Leader Dogs.
On Sunday, March 19th, Classic Lanes Bowling Alley in Rochester Hills will be hosting its second annual bowling party to benefit Pins for Pups. Chris Murray, manager at Classic Lanes, explained what Pins for Pups is all about.
Is a fundraiser that we started last year in 2016, and the purpose is to support the leader dog puppies and the puppy raisers, those individuals that take the dogs into their homes when they're 2 months old, raise them until they're between 12 and 15 months old, and they're ready to graduate to the next level.
Leader Dogs for the Blind, located in Rochester, relies on voluntary contributions to fulfill its mission. First-time puppy raiser Renee Perkins talks about the counseling and training involved in preparing her puppy Scarlet for formal training with qualified guide dog mobility instructors.
Leader dog training classes. They do once a month gatherings, small group with your local leader dog puppy counselor. And then they do field trips, so that gives you opportunity to go to places and practice your skills in public with lots of distractions.
Perkins goes on to explain the first couple of weeks right after receiving Scarlet and how important it is to start the training process right away.
And then immediately we take every opportunity to train her. So when we are walking anywhere, we work on loose leash walking. We work on paying attention and keeping our head up instead of sniffing everything on the ground, which is really a challenge for her right now.
Perkins says her kids already want her to name a second puppy and believes she can see herself raising puppies for a long time.
My puppy counselor has picked up her 25th dog and has raised 25 dogs, well, starting her 25th dog right now. And I think that's amazing, and I think I could see myself doing this until I just can't physically do it anymore.
The Pins for Pup event starts at 2 p.m. and goes until 5 p.m. It is $22 for bowlers and $12 for non-bowlers. Bowlers will enjoy 3 hours of unlimited bowling, 2 slices of pizza, and a soda. Murray is excited for a big turnout and loves the idea of raising money for leader dogs in Rochester.
The leader dog is a mainstay of Rochester. When you say Rochester to most people, they think leader dog school. So we just decided to do a bowling fundraiser, and I'm big on dogs, whether they're leader dogs or rescue dogs, whatever. So my stipulation was I would do this fundraiser for the puppies.
John Atwater reporting for ONTV News.
Thanks, John. Again, to get involved with the fundraiser, call Classic Lanes at 248-852-9100. You can also learn more about Leader Dogs for the Blind by visiting leaderdog.org.
That's it for this edition of ONTV News. I'm Melissa Kratt.
And I'm Shane Stockwell. Stay tuned for LO Sports Update.